All right, guys, we're going to check pages. This is for 4th grade. We are going to check pages 431 and 432. Let me scoot this back a little bit so you can see me. All right, here we go. So I'm just going to tell you the answers, but we'll go through the story problems together, okay? Number 1 was 11/6, but you had to convert it over. We did that one together yesterday to an improper, to a mixed number. So your answer is 1 5/6. If you do not change it over, it would be wrong, okay? Because you can't have an improper fraction unless it asks for one. Number 2, 2/3. Number 3, 2 8/10, but it had to be simplified. If you didn't simplify it, it would be wrong. And your simplification for 2 8/10 is 2 4/5. Number 4, 2 9/12, but simplifies to 2 3/4. Again, your 2 3/4 is your final answer. All right, number 5 is 5 2/10, which simplifies to 5 1/5, excuse me. Number 6 is 3/4. Number 7 is 4/5. Number 8 is 1 2/6, but simplifies to 1 1/3. Number 9 is 2 11/12. Number 10, 2 6/10, but simplifies to 2 3/5. And number 4 is 1 2/5. All right, now let's go a little deeper here, and our story problem is at the bottom there on page 431. Let's read, okay? Lisa mixed 4 2/6 cups of orange juice with 3 1/6 cups of pineapple juice to make fruit punch. She and her friends drank 3 4/6 cups of punch. How much of the fruit punch is left? So we're going to have to first add the 2 cups that they had, which was 4 2/6. And we're going to add 3 1/6 to it because they had 3 1/6 cups of pineapple juice and 4 2/6 cups of OJ. All right, denominators are the same. We're adding, so we can just go for it. Okay, 6 is my denominator. 2 plus 1 is 3, and 4 plus 3 is 7. Now, I'm not going to simplify that because I have to continue working with the rest of the problem. So they have a total of 7 3/6 ounces or cups of juice, but they drank 3 4/6 of that, okay? So if they had this amount and drank this amount, you're not going to be able to get it back. So what do you have to do to it? You have to subtract those 2, okay? And when we go to subtract, you cannot take 4 away from 3. If you want $4 and I've only got 3, I can't give you $4, can I? So I have to regroup that, okay? Take 1 away from the 7, and it becomes a 6. Put your numerator inside your denominator. 6 plus 3 is 9, and your denominator stays the same. Pull this over, 3 4/6, and now I'm ready to subtract. Okay, 6 minus 3 is 3. Denominator stays the same, which is 6. And 9 minus 4 is 5. So they had 3 5/6 cups of juice left. You would have to label it, remember, cups. Always label your story problems. Okay. All right, now let's check our story problems on the next page. This is an ongoing problem. It builds on each other. So there's several questions with referring to these problems build on each other. There's 4 total problems. Okay? All right. Many instruments are coiled or curved so that they are easy for the musicians to play, but they would be quite long if they were straightened out completely. Okay? So they are telling us here on number 13, trumpets and cornets are brass instruments. Fully stretched out, the length of the trumpet, so the length of the trumpet is 5 1/4 feet. And the length of the cornet is 4 2/4 feet long. They want us to find out how much longer is the trumpet than the cornet. So here we go. We're going to compare. We have to subtract. Your denominators are the same. I'm going to go ahead and pull my second fraction over because it does not change. Okay? It does not change. So I have to take 1 from the whole. 1 from the whole becomes 4. I have to put my numerator into my denominator. Love you. Have a good evening. Bye. So 4 plus 1 is 5/4. Sorry, guys. My son was leaving for work. He has to work all evening at Grant's. All right, you ready? Now I'm ready to subtract. My 4 stays the same. And 5 minus 4 is 3. And 4 minus 4 is 0. So the trumpet is 3/4 foot longer, 3/4 of a foot longer than the cornet. Okay, 3/4 feet longer. That wasn't hard, was it? All right, moving on to number 14. Tubas, trombones, and French horns are also brass instruments. Fully stretched out, the length of the tuba is 18 feet. The length of the trombone is 9 11/12 feet. The length of the French horn is 7 1/12 feet. The tuba is how much longer than the French horn? So they're just wanting us to compare the tuba and the French horn. So let me go back up here in my problem. The tuba is 18 feet. We're working with just a hole. Okay, the tuba is 18 feet, and the French horn, I'm just abbreviating, French horn, is 17 1/12. So we're going to compare. They want to know how much longer the tuba is. So here we go. We're working with that hole. Who remembers what I have to do to find my hole? What do I have to do with the denominator? I have to use the denominator from this problem. So I'm going to take 1 away from the whole to become 17. So look, 17 minus 17, it's only going to be so much of a fraction. And then I have to use my denominator as 12 because this one is 12. How many 12s make up a whole? 12. So 12 twelfths makes up a whole. So 17 and 12 twelfths is the same thing as 18, right? It's the same thing as saying if you've got $3 and 4 more quarters, that those 4 more quarters equals $1. And then the 3 plus the 4 would equal what? Ta-da! Another $1. I'm sorry, the 3 plus the 4 quarters would equal a whole. So 3 plus 1 would give us a whole another $1. Same thing here. The 12 twelfths equals 1 plus this 17, that would give us 18. Same thing. It's just rewritten a different way. Now I've got to compare. So I'm going to subtract. My 12 stays the same. 17 minus 17 is 0. 12 minus 1 is 11. So 11 twelfths foot long. The tuba is 11/12 feet longer than the French horn. Okay? Now, the second set of the problem wants to know the French horn is how much longer than the trombone. So, to find the length of the trombone, I come up here. Let's see. Okay? The French horn is 17 1/12 feet long. Okay? And the trombone is 9 11/12 feet long. So I gotta compare. And when I compare, here we go. Our denominators are the same. This fraction does not have to be changed, the second one. So pull it over. I have to take one from the whole, take one from 17, and it would become 16. If I've got 12s, I've got to put my numerator into my denominator. 12 plus 1 is 13. Okay, so let's compare. What is 16 minus 9? 16 minus 9 is 7. Your denominator stays the same. And 13 minus 11 is 2. But what's wrong with 7 and 2 12ths? Both of our numbers are even, so that means I have to simplify. Remember, you cannot simplify by going and dividing by a number larger than your numerator. So we have to divide by 2 because if we divided by 1, it would be the same thing. So pull over that whole number 7. Then 2 divided by 2 is 1. 12 divided by 2 is 6. So the French horn is 7 1/6 feet longer than the trombone. All right. Now, they want us on the last problem here. Well, on number 15, the last problem here before we get to number 16, it's working with this set. Number 15, the pitch of the musical instruments is related to its length. I didn't realize that. The pitch is related to the length. In general, the greater the length of the musical instrument, so the bigger it is, the lower its pitch. That taught me something. Order the brass instruments identified on this whole page that was in the last 3 problems from lowest to highest. So, I'm going to go to number 13, and I've got the trumpet, which is how long? 5 1/4 feet long. Okay, I've got the cornet, which is 4 2/4 feet long, which is the same thing as 4 1/2. And then in problem 14, I see the tuba, trombone, and French horn. Okay, the tuba is 18 feet. Oh, that's the longest, isn't it? The trombone is 9 11/12 feet. And the French horn is 17 1/12 feet. So they want us to order these in order from the lowest pitch to the highest pitch. Remember, so that would be ordering them in order from the greatest to the least. Okay, so the largest would be what? Which one? The what? Tuba. Tuba would be first. Then Here we go. The French horn is the next lowest pitched instrument on this page. Then 3 would be the trombone, and then compare these two. Then 4, and then 5 is the highest pitched, is cornet. So in order, you would list them as the tuba, the French horn, the trombone, the trumpet, and the cornet. Okay? All right, guys. Now let's look at our very last problem down there in the bottom where it says think smarter. And this is our last problem. Then I'm going to give you guys a break this weekend, and we'll get started again on Monday. No homework over the weekend, unless your parents just want you to do it. All right. Down here in the box, and it also says it's on that this problem is on the Personal Math Trainer. Okay? Online. All right. It says that Alicia had 3 1/6 yards of fabric. So she has 3 1/6 yards. After making a tablecloth, she had 1 4/6 yards left. Okay, so she had 1 4/6 left. And she said she used 2 3/6. And they want to know if you agree with that. Is that how much she used? So to find out if she was right, we would have to take away what she used from what she has left rather from the whole. So let's go ahead and work our problem. 1 4/6 stays the same. We aren't going to touch that number. We're going to take 1 from the whole to become 2. 6 plus 1, 7 sixths. Okay? Now I'm ready. 2 minus 1, 1. 6 stays the same. 7 minus 4 is what? 3. Is that right? No. Let's see. She said that she used, which is also the same thing as 1 1/2, right? She said she used 2 3/6. So is she right? No, she is not right because she used 1 1/2 to make the tablecloth. That's what she used, was 1 1/2 yards. Okay? All right, if you guys had any questions on those and need any clarification on any of them, just let me know. And then come Monday, you can have a free weekend unless you want to work on some IXL or some Think Central. Have a free weekend. And on Monday, get busy. And why don't you guys do 433 and 434? And then maybe I'll hop back on Tuesday and go over it with you. Okay? All right. I hope you guys have a fabulous weekend. And I'll talk to you soon.